Panther. So,
welcome everyone to kind of our debut reset episode. It's time for the Garage After Dark.
Ooh.
Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
Are you guys ready for some ladder match?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Oh my goodness. That is a hell of an intro, gentlemen.
Yes,
I
it
like
is.
that a lot. That is really, really cool. Welcome, everybody.
We're a little bit edgy. We're a little bit edgy now.
A little bit edgy. We got edge to us, guys.
Yeah.
Got edge to us. Not Adam Copeland.
I was
Edge.
going to say.
This is your February 24th, 2024. Yes, that is 2242024 edition of a sort of rebranded show in a way. We've always called it the Garage Collision After Dark, but I think we're going to lean a little more into the garage part to kind of, not tie us down. We're going to talk about Collision when it's on, but we're not going to be tied down to just talk about Collision, right, guys? I am the
we're pretty much the Saturday night wrestling show. For example, if we don't have something else to talk about right away, we're going to talk about the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
In a little bit here.
Absolutely. I'm the F&N expert. You guys know me, the lead host of the evening. I am Mr. Isaacs.
And you might know me from such self-help films as Jimmy's Falling Down the Well. I am the patron saint of professional wrestling. I'm that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada Dry. Damn it.
And the gentleman below is going to be singing Sending Our Love Down the Well. From
No,
The
not
Simpsons.
quite.
Our fabulous Saturday evening threesome that we have on YouTube most Saturday nights.
Almost every Saturday.
Sometimes we're a foursome.
Sometimes we're a foursome. Sometimes we're a threesome. We are a triangular threesome tonight.
Yeah.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, fine sir.
It's me. It's me. It's that EVP. How are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
I am doing well. I'm doing well, gentlemen. Canada Dry, how are you today?
I'm doing well. But I just want to say, if you're in the emergency room, please have some courtesy for those around you. You know, they're suffering a lot of pain. They don't want to hear Canada Dry talk his bullshit in the emergency room.
I don't think the person who accidentally stabbed themselves with a steak knife sitting next to you, holding their hand in pain, is going to want to hear our thoughts on Eddie Kingston.
Look, while we appreciate you watching, turn us off, focus on getting better, and then come back and watch us at a later date.
She's got answer.
She's got headphones on, so that's good. That's good. Good job.
Look, you brought up Eddie Kingston. All I'm going to say is, and I can safely say this for all three of us, Bryan Danielson was our spirit animal tonight in that promo.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We'll talk a little bit at length more on that a little later on.
Yes.
We'll definitely get there, but I believe Canada Dry wants to start by discussing the Elimination Chamber. Now, I will throw this out there. I have watched it up to almost the conclusion of the men's Elimination Chamber. So I haven't got a chance to watch the whole thing yet. I think there's one match afterwards, the Rhea Ripley match. But gentlemen, have either of you watched the entire program?
You notice a change here? It's showing the people's pictures when I post now, right? Was it not doing that before? Is this new?
No, it was doing it before.
It was showing their picture before?
I think
Was it
so.
saying their name?
I believe it was.
I don't know.
I'd have to go back and watch now. I don't remember.
I think I changed the blocks, and I think now it includes people's pictures.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
But
Canada
yes,
Dry, did you watch it? Canada Dry.
Oh, did I watch it? I thought you were talking to EVP Joe here. Yeah, I watched it. So ironically enough, last night, I was chilling out, watching some TV, and then I'm lying on the couch, and all of a sudden I wake up. Do you know what time it is? It's 2 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, hey, look what's on right now. It's the Elimination Chamber.
You timed it perfectly.
And I get a message from Haney in the All Up in the Rest of the chat. You bastards, I'm sleeping when I don't have no one to talk to about this. So I'm like, I'm here.
You watching WWE, you wanker.
And then when we watched our friend Shane also accidentally woke up like this as well. And the three of us watched it together until after the second cage, second Elimination Chamber match. Shane and I decided to go to bed because we didn't want to stay up for another half hour for this match.
Not together, right?
Not together.
To be clear.
To be clear.
Just to explain for everybody out there, when he says he and Shane are going to bed, they don't.
Yes.
Go in the same bed. Not there's.
We were having a threesome in chat, but there was nothing going on,
and it ends there.
Yeah, it's not like what we do here on After Dark.
They were having a threesome with a Scottish man in the middle of the night here, and and
half Japanese Canadian.
Yeah, I mean, you had a whole big melting pot there in your threesome. That's pretty impressive. EVP Joe, have you seen the Elimination Chamber? What are your thoughts on it?
Yes, I have seen. I saw all four matches. I didn't watch the pre-show, so I didn't see that tag team match. But the four matches on the main card were all good. There's nothing to complain about.
Yeah, definitely these pictures are new. These are not.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I don't remember seeing anyone's pictures before.
Well, Shane's also coming from Facebook, so
yeah, some of it's coming from Facebook. I'll say for
I
me,
didn't see no giant hedgehog like this before.
What if we changed it and all of a sudden it was Knuckles then instead of Sonic? Like
we can put a vote to get
hit a different button. Tails comes in. No.
Yeah, Noob just changes between Sonic to Tails and Knuckles.
If we all vote it, will you change your profile picture on YouTube to Knuckles? You guys second that? Vote for Knuckles?
I would vote for that.
Yeah, Knuckles.
Absolutely. I'd vote for
all right.
that.
All right, Noob. Will you accept the challenge and change your profile picture on YouTube to Knuckles?
And you know what? You don't even have to do it like permanently. It could just be for 1 week if you want.
Well, I just want to have one episode of the show.
Yeah, just one episode even, not even a full week.
Wednesday night.
Yeah. When you come in Wednesday night, have Knuckles as your profile picture.
Yeah, and I'll have to make sure that I put the right thing on to get the pictures. I think it was the selection I had on before.
One thing that I saw, which I usually always skip the stupid pre-show, but I did catch like the very tail end of it. And the only reason why is because obviously I was watching it on demand at like 10 o'clock this morning. Yeah. And you have to kind of scrub through it. Yeah. And like there's no markers to indicate when the actual real show starts because Peacock sucks.
Peacock is the
worst. Oh, so you're getting the pre-show.
Yeah. So I saw a little bit of
one big lump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one
like
big lump.
The time bar is just one big thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't put markers in it. Like it sucks. The old WWE Network was so much better than this.
Well,
But
even if they didn't put markers in it, even having a pre-show separate from.
yeah,
And on top of that, like when you scroll like fast forward, it just freezes the screen. And all you get is a black, so you can't even see what you're fast
Oh,
forward.
you can't like figure out what you want to get.
Nope.
and you always have to watch an ad before it actually shows you what you scrub to. It's a real pain in the ass.
We got this Caleb guy. I don't know who the hell he is.
But what I was getting at was that they showed kind of all the moments of people walking into the arena. And Kevin Owens walked into the arena and he was holding a damn live koala bear in his arms.
Oh, I saw this.
KO may be my MVP of this show because I love that he came in walking a koala. And when we get to the men's match, I'll tell you what my favorite moment of this match was.
Yeah. Well, so you guys want to go match by match here and kind of discuss it a little bit, just briefly?
Do we want to? Yeah, we can go through the whole thing.
It's only
it's 4 matches, so I mean, whatever.
And I didn't see the last one, so
I haven't seen the last match either.
I didn't see the last one, so
we'll just get your opinion on the last, then, and
we'll just defer to Joe on the last match. Yeah, but the opening match was the women's elimination chamber, and I didn't take any notes on this or anything, but I honestly thought this was a really good match. I thought it was really good. Tiffany Stratton is amazing.
Yes, she is.
I think she is awesome. She's got the looks. She's got the in-ring ability. She's got the athleticism. She sells well.
You know what I think about Tiffany Stratton?
What's that?
I think that Tiffany Stratton and Mariah May are the same person.
They look a lot alike.
Over to WWE, she just puts a little bit more makeup on.
They look a lot alike. They really do. I mean, every time I see them, I think about the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like Sky Blue and what's her name from
Sky Blue and Cora Jade. Yeah, they look a lot alike too. Yeah.
Tiffany and Mariah May could be a
doppelganger, long lost twin.
Or the Sin Caras.
I gotta see more Mariah.
Both of them are significantly better at wrestling than what they were in the WWE.
Yeah, absolutely. But I thought this was a really fun match. Stratton stood out to me. Bianca stood out to me. She had some nice power moves in this match. Of course, Becky's the one that went over, which they were kind of, leaning into that a little bit.
They've been leaning on that since August.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a couple years since, she's had a proper run. So I guess it's kind of come full circle.
So yeah, this match was really predictable as far as the outcome was concerned. And I would have preferred you don't try and build up the Rhea Becky match until now. Now you can build it up.
Yeah.
Why do we need to hint at
it? I don't know.
Like you could have hinted at it at like the Rumble, but to sit there and basically hint at it since like August of last year, like.
Yeah, they did it pre-Rumble and post-Rumble.
I've seen plenty of people who are like, oh, this is long-term storytelling. I'm like, no. There's a difference between long-term storytelling and taking a long time to tell a story.
Yeah.
There is a difference.
Yeah. There's very much
you're like, well, I don't know if I can beat you. Like, okay, yeah. Like,
I don't know if I can beat you. I can't do an Irish accent.
That's your best Scottish accent?
I just lump all the UK together. I'm sorry.
She's Irish.
Yeah, she's Irish, not Scottish.
So you know what you do? You think of Touched by an Angel. I'm Becky Lynch. I'm sent by God.
Shane says in chat, I just want to state for the record, me and Canada Dry did not sleep together. That's good to know. And he also says he's going to see Big J Okerson in a bit. He's a very funny comedian. Have you guys seen him before?
Oh, okay. I was wondering who that was.
Nope, I don't. I've never heard of him.
He's hilarious. He's one of the. There's a podcast called Legion of Skanks, and he's like one of the co-hosts of it. They call it the most offensive podcast on the planet. So yeah, it's pretty dirty, dark humor, but he's a funny dude. That should be a good show. Absolutely.
So I wanted to say I was talking to Joe Horvath. I don't know if you've met yet. He's friends with Shane Douglas.
He's friends with him.
Yeah, he's
like
friends
he knows
with Shane
him personally.
Douglas. Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder how that came about.
So we might be able to get Shane Douglas on the podcast. And I was told, just don't ask him about Ric Flair. But apparently Ric Flair talks so much shit about him.
Oh yeah, that's like a famous like shoot feud from back in the late 90s, early 2000s with Shane Douglas and Ric Flair. Yeah.
What how did this start?
Well, it started because Shane Douglas, from what I remember, and it's been a long time since I've seen or heard anything about this, but what I remember is that he claimed that Ric Flair held him down when he was in WCW, when he was Booker in the early 90s. And he always held a grudge against him for that. So when he went to ECW and he got on top and became the champion, he started taking shots at Flair. He started taking shots at Flair for being flabby and old and outdated and just talking massive shit about Flair. Well, then Shane Douglas goes to WCW and they're working in the same company then.
And he's the franchise now.
Yeah. And I think that I don't remember if anything happened there between them or not. I know they feuded with each other and they kind of tried to build off of that a little bit. So I don't know. I didn't know he still held animosity towards Flair because it's obviously been a long time.
I just looked at a post today that popped up on my newsfeed. WWE, WCW wrestler that Flair doesn't respect at all. The hate, and then who does it turn out to be?
Shane Douglas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, apparently the feud is still going strong even in 2024, all these years later, which is unfortunate, but it's a reality of the business, I suppose.
Getting back to the chamber match here, I thought there was some really boring parts to this. At times it struggled. I'm like, come on.
I will say, I'm a massive Becky Lynch fan.
Yeah.
But when it was just Becky and Naomi, it was kind of clunky.
It started off really slow.
You want to know what I thought was funny?
When
Becky did the disarm her on Tiffany Stratton, and her arm was through the cage between her legs. So she's just like, the camera's showing her, and she's like gripping the arm between her legs, going, "Ah!" It didn't look right. It looked a little suggestive to me.
But I will say Bianca Belair, when she got out of her pod, the business picked up and she looked great.
I loved her intensity and I love her power moves. I thought she looked amazing in this match.
But then I noticed a few times she sold a little
Yeah. They're just trying to keep the pace going, Yeah. Which these matches are crazy, but I did think this was enjoyable, and
it was fun.
It was.
It's also really tough. To not have license to bleed a little bit here and there.
Yeah,
like a couple people should come out with some blood.
Yeah,
there doesn't need to be everyone.
I'm surprised there wasn't any hard way blood here. That usually happens in the chamber. Because I mean it's a pretty stiff structure. It's a pretty stiff structure.
I will say, I think my one big complaint, I don't like how it was just boom boom with pins to end the match.
Right.
I
think
that kind of cheapens it a little bit.
Noob says it's way too suggestive. Yes, it is.
Okay, I might feel this one time on the show. Caleb, we're not doing this anymore. I'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll see you later. I'm not mad at you. Just chill.
We love you, buddy.
Yeah,
just
we love you.
It's all good.
You're just a bit much sometimes. That's all.
Well, moving on, we can talk about the second match for the tag team championship, and I thought this was a really, really fun match.
This is my match of the night.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing I've seen so far as well. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne against the Judgment Day. This was just a fantastic match. It was a great back and forth.
I like Tyler Bate a lot, but I like his brother more. You know his brother Master?
Oh, God, I knew you were going there. I was like, what? Are you talking about his brother with the Kung Fu gimmick? Is that what you're talking about? Master?
Yeah, the master. Master. Oh, double entendre. Like I didn't set it up that way.
Well, what did you think of the tag match, Canada? Did you like it?
I enjoyed it. Some good back and forth. It was lacking a little something, but because it's like I don't even know how they got the tag title match. It was just all of a sudden they were because they originally Priest was fighting against DIY. And then
So there was 2 triple threat matches, one on Raw, one on SmackDown, and the winner of those 2 matches fought each other. So New Catch Republic or Mustache Mountain or British Strong Style, whatever you want to call them, beat DIY.
Oh, okay.
Now, Mustache Mountain, that was
Trent Seven
and
Tyler Bate.
Yeah.
And British Strong Style is Trent Seven, Tyler Bate, and Pete Dunne.
Yeah. But I thought this was a great match. It was really fun. I'm glad that Judgment Day retained because I think they're killing it as the heel faction.
Braun Breaker, not Breaker. What's the Australian guy that wasn't on the show? Bronson
Reed.
Yeah, Bronson Reed. Originally, he was supposed to get a match.
Yeah.
Against Seth Rollins. Well, my freaking thing, why don't you give him another match?
Right.
With someone else?
Well, to be fair, it's kind of a good thing they didn't. His wife had a baby 3 days ago.
He would still like to do this.
I mean, yeah, but you know what? There's always going to be another show in Australia.
Yeah.
Ah, man, those hometown pops, you can't beat those. Those are star makers.
I get that, but you know what? To me, seeing my kid be born is way more important.
You're still going to see his kid be born. You're going to miss it for 1 hour of a couple hours of a night?
Yeah.
He doesn't understand. He's not a parent like we are.
Yeah, I guess that's part of it.
He's like,
I'm a cat parent.
He's like, screw that bastard. I want to go headline Australia.
Free cat's dad, remember.
Afterwards, we got the men's chamber. Like I said,
who would you put against Bronson Reed instead of Seth Rollins?
Anybody, really.
Omos.
Just a showcase match to put him over. You know?
Yeah, someone that's believable he could beat.
Yeah. Chad Gable or somebody like that. I mean,
no, not Gable. I'd do. I don't really know.
Austin Theory.
Yeah, Austin
possibly.
Theory.
Yeah, Austin Theory or hell, I don't know.
I would put Sheamus in there if he was back yet.
He's hurt, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who I'd put up against him. I don't know. Otis. I'm thinking either Chad Gable or Otis.
Good, yeah.
Jinder Mahal.
Oh my goodness, has Jinder ever fallen in the last couple weeks?
Oh, Jinder. Jinder Mahal.
Now he's on main event.
Yep.
He's a strange case. He's an interesting case study for someone to go back and look at his career at some point, like 20 years down the road. The mysterious career of Jinder Mahal. He's had such peaks and valleys and just weird spots. It's
almost like they kept him on TV for long enough to say, see, Tony Khan, you made him big. And then you're like, get this fucking guy out of here. It was almost like, we don't really believe what we're saying.
In hindsight, though, Tony Khan's tweets were right.
Oh, poor Jinder.
But you know what? That Seth Rollins match, up until
he got injured,
up until he was, or whatever it was, that was a good match.
He's okay. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's horrible. I think he's okay.
As long as Jinder Mahal isn't the one that's leading the match and is the one who's going to win, he can have a good match.
Yeah, I think there's wrestlers that look good only when they're wrestling with a good wrestler.
Yeah.
Not
just that, but every match that he has when he's winning, it's the same.
I kind of felt bad for him during his
2 outside goons interfere. He hits the Colossus and match over.
I felt bad for him during his title run. when Brock Lesnar straight up refused to work with him, so he had to drop the belt to AJ Styles a week before the pay-per-view.
Well, that was the best call.
Yeah,
they
it
could have
was,
made.
yeah. But yeah, could you imagine what a Brock Lesnar Jinder Mahal match would look like?
You don't want to know because I think Brock would have just destroyed.
Yeah, Brock probably would have got frustrated and killed him in the ring.
All right, let's get back on track here.
All right. Let's see, where were we? We were talking about the
Next is
men's.
No, it's
the men's chamber.
the little talking segment before.
Oh,
yeah.
Grayson Waller, the Waller
The
effect.
Waller effect.
Yeah.
So what we really found funny about this was he doesn't get no pop at all from the Australian crowd as he's coming out.
He did, but I think the way they
It was on a low roar.
Like it's like the way they mic'd this crowd was really weird.
Yeah, they don't mic the outside crowds very well. Like you
especially
don't
when
hear
it's
the
an
pops.
open.
Yeah, but you know, I know what you're saying, but they weren't really popping for him, which is surprising.
Not until he got into and started talking and did the shoey and then did the Aussie, oi, oi, oi.
Yeah, but then they went right back to boo.
Yeah,
well, he's the bad guy.
He did the shoey thing with Tui Tuivasa, the UFC heavyweight fighter, who's also Australian. Who was
we were talking about how much Seth Rollins got a bigger pop.
Oh yeah,
than the actual hometown kid.
He did. Yeah, absolutely. But this segment was
Cody got fireworks.
Dude, Cody was like, you know what? I want to hear my whole song plus more tonight.
Yeah,
he took forever to get into that.
Oh yes, that was one of the things. He was Randy Orton slow.
Well, they know the crowd likes to sing the song.
Yeah,
that's what it is. They know. Yeah,
I like that's the one thing I did like this Australian crowd actually knows the words to the song and sang the whole song rather than just screaming "oh" or "whoa."
And why is Seth Rollins' theme song still "Burn It Down"? Doesn't really match his character.
I don't know what is his character. It's a stupid Batman villain that's now like kind of a baby face.
It's just this amalgamation of everything, like the Messiah, the Monday Night Rollins character.
If there was ever someone who needed to take a break, it's Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
just
I agree.
Go away for a little bit. I mean, good Lord, he had the 3 lensed eyeglasses tonight, and he doesn't even have 3 eyes.
Did he ever look effing stupid?
It's always either that or the snow goggles or something. Yeah, it's
like I just want Seth to go away just to get new music. I hate his entrance music. I hate the fact that the fans chant the stupid thing over and over and over 5 minutes after the song is over. It annoys me to no end.
It's very annoying.
And I hate the obnoxious laugh, even though he's a good guy. That guy laugh needs to go now that you're face.
Yeah.
It's like that evil villain laugh is like, I'm still evil. I'm an evil villain. I'm your evil villain.
Cody.
But finish the story.
I really thought we were going to get that tag match announced. Like when Cody goes up, faces the hard cam, is like, I want to fight you anytime, anywhere. And then Seth comes up. I really thought he's like, let's make this a tag match or something.
Yeah, I thought
he set it up. He was like, look, it's never one-on-one with the bloodline. Let's just do it. But they didn't. Because, there's still 6 weeks. So
yeah, have to
wait till the Raw before Mania to make it official.
Where can we see this Rock versus Roman happen? Sorry, Rock versus Cody happen. Is this going to be a
I bet you.
I don't think it's going to be a one-on-one. I really think this is just leading up to the tag match on night 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably going to be a tag match on night 1 of Mania.
Because there's 6 weeks.
40 days. 40 days to Mania here.
42. Saturday to Saturday. It's 42 days. There's no pay-per-views. They're not going to give away Rock versus Cody on a Raw or a SmackDown. That's not happening.
It would happen if it was Tony Khan.
Well, yeah, because like you can't compare what Tony Khan does versus what WWE does. Yeah. I mean,
it's apples and
one
oranges.
thing that they may do is, you know how sometimes they stick in that, what do they call, roadblock or whatever? That's like a little extra PLE they stick between Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah, it's not all the time, but I don't think they would pull the trigger.
This roadblock pay-per-view is like, roadblock, you got to get past this shitty pay-per-view.
I don't think they would put Cody versus The Rock on that.
I think they would have already announced that anyway.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that it's probably going to be a tag match night one of Mania. Yeah.
Matthew thinks The Rock sold himself to money. Does this mean you sold his soul?
No, I don't think so.
Wonder that's a Matthew.
He has plenty of money. He's the highest paid actor in the world. He doesn't need money. Like, I know a lot of people don't like it, but The Rock really is about the wrestling business. He grew up in it. His family grew. Like, good Lord, look at his family tree that he put up in Vegas with him, and like, he is about the wrestling business. The wrestling business is what gave him everything.
And he is the only wrestler too that could have legitimately bought WWE.
Yep.
I mean, he's the only wrestler in history that would have the money to buy WWE.
Well, he'd have to get partners. He doesn't have enough money himself.
Yeah, I mean, he would have to have partners, but he does. He has a big investment group.
Yeah,
he has
his business. He has his ex-wife who is his business manager.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing in itself. I mean, ex-wife who's I'll still manage you, even though we're not.
She ain't dumb. She's like, look, you may pay me my alimony, but I'm still going to make business money off of you.
Oh yeah, she's made millions and millions. And
Rock's like, well, you're doing good.
Clearly, it ended on good terms because they're still killing it in the business world.
Yep.
So
they do appearances together and everything. Yeah. It's interesting, but I mean, that works for them. What
do you think of this segment here, though? Overall.
You know, I thought it was all right. I thought it was funny when, Grayson Waller, or not Grayson Waller, when Austin Theory was doing the Rock shtick, and Seth Rollins just grabs him and slings him into the little sign, and he's still like doing the shtick as he gets thrown into the sign. I thought that was kind of funny.
So, do you think we're going to get Austin Theory versus Grayson Waller at Mania? Or do you think this was...
kind of teased that when he grabbed that mic away and looked on his face, right?
And also, like, Grayson Waller just sat there and watched Theory get the shit kicked out of him.
I think they just didn't want to make him get booed like a heel in Australia. I think that's basically what that boils down to. I kind of doubt those two are going to have a match at Mania. I mean, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I mean, do you think Waller's going babyface here? Either of you?
I don't know, but I do know that Grayson Waller doesn't need Austin Theory.
We didn't quite. I thought we would get why Rock was wanting to talk to Grayson Waller. We didn't get that.
Yeah, like they definitely didn't do anything to build up what happened on SmackDown last week.
I thought they would
answer talking to him, right?
Yeah.
And
I need to talk to you.
Didn't really address that, did they?
No. Not at all.
It's I think this Rock imitation by Theory, to me, is an all-time low for his character.
Yeah.
Like, when you're coming out doing imitations of other wrestlers, that's bad.
And getting beat down.
You're not even doing your own shtick.
Like, I was watching another YouTube show, and I saw a comment that someone said, if I'm Austin Theory, I never want to be in the ring next to Grayson Waller ever again.
Dude, maybe I have a shot with this Jungle Boy still.
No.
we've both got some pretty dead horses here.
Yeah. I still think what he's doing in WWE is still far and away above what Jack Perry's doing or not doing.
Well, yeah, Jack Perry's got he's not even around on TV no more.
He's in limbo right now. Has he even done anything else in New Japan since he made that one appearance?
He has a match. He has a match in Windy City in Chicago.
Oh, okie dokie.
Yeah.
I'm sure he won't get harassed in Chicago by wrestling fans.
No.
No.
Anyways, moving on to the
Thank
men's
you for
chamber.
letting him come back to WWE.
Right. Yeah. Men's chamber match. What'd you guys think of this? We're 34 minutes in. We need to move swiftly if we're going to talk about Collision. Canada, I'll start with you.
I was so excited. Okay, this is what I said to Alex Haney last night in the chat. This is the first time I'm excited for a WWE match in a very long time.
Yeah, you're not big on WWE. Neither one of you guys are.
Well, it's just it has been lacking something for a very long time.
Right.
And I'd watch it, but it didn't really do anything for me. The last time I was excited was the Cody match.
Right.
The main event of WrestleMania. And I wasn't excited for anything until this, because I want Drew to win that world title more than I want Cody to finish the story. Because Drew, he's just being this dick, and I love it.
Yeah, he is funny. Yeah.
So I think Drew wins at Mania, but then I think he automatically gets cashed in on by Damian Priest.
Yeah, which is like it's like do we see the even meaner side of Drew McIntyre? He goes full like evil.
So real quick, two things that I absolutely love from the chamber. One, at the beginning of the match, you have LA Knight bashing McIntyre's head into KO's pod, and KO was punching the glass as his head is meeting. I love that.
That was pretty cool, yeah.
But then my absolute favorite thing is I love that they're continuing the story with Drew, where this whole heel turn was fueled by him getting screwed over by outside interference. And now he's only winning by outside interference.
That's great.
It's so good.
That is great storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of agree with you guys. I think Priest is going to cash in at Mania, because I think that, at least in the past, I don't know if they said it recently, but in the past, the Money in the Bank winner always had up to Mania to cash in.
Well,
I don't know if that's still a rule.
Now it's a year, so now it's up to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view.
Oh, which
and
makes
when
sense.
is that? Like June or something like that?
I have no clue when it is, to be honest with you. I think it's June.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
But I still think he'll cash in at Mania, and I think he'll end up walking out of that with that title. Yeah.
Because that just fuels, like you said, it fuels McIntyre's. Well, it also depends on, did McIntyre resign? There's still that whole thing of, will he, won't he? We don't know yet. So
surely to God he will, though, if they're putting him in the essentially the co-main of Mania.
You would think so.
Yeah.
And they might even have Priest not cash in that night and wait a little bit just to have McIntyre.
Looks like we have a new chatter in. El Showtimeo.
Wait,
kind of looks a little familiar.
I'm dating your ex.
This whole Caleb's ex storyline is just going to go on forever, I have a feeling. I noticed he said earlier that his ex-girlfriend is Alex. So he's got a thing for the Scottish, apparently.
You think it's this Alexandria girl? I don't know.
Alexandria.
But yeah, I thought the men's match, like I said, I haven't finished watching the whole thing. I thought it was cool. Kevin Owens was freaking great in this. The punching as he's slamming his head in the pod, that was hilarious. I love that.
I love the fact that LA Knight and AJ Styles are going to have this clash keep going, and they got something set for Mania now.
I swear to God, AJ Styles looks like freaking Batista now.
He's
like he is so jacked.
He could play a Wolverine character.
Yes,
he could.
Like he went from being like a little flippy looking guy to being like a jacked badass looking dude in like 6 months.
Yeah, when he injured his ankle to when he came back from his ankle injury, like he just like transformed.
Yeah, I mean, like he looks like a completely different man. Like he looks like he could tear you to pieces.
This match could steal the card of the show on one of these nights.
Oh, absolutely.
LA Knight versus.
I don't know. Maybe they could do LA Knight versus AJ Styles, or they could roll them into like a multi-man US title match.
Oh, I hope not. I hope.
No, I like
They're
AJ
going to have to.
Styles.
They're going to have to do some multi-man matches. Triple
Yeah,
H.
but keep these guys away. Get them
Triple H doesn't do a lot of matches on pay-per-views. That's the problem.
Well, they'll do the Andre Memorial Battle Royal and put on all the jobbers.
Screw
that's
that.
what they
I'd
do.
rather have like a 6 or 8 man U.S. title ladder match. Honestly,
No, I'm with Canada Dry here. I want to see Styles versus LA Knight in a one-on-one.
I'd rather have LA Knight win the U.S. title personally.
Yeah, could do that too.
All right, let's give our bells and whistles just for this, and let's move on to Collision.
Well, what about the Rhea match? Does EVP Joe want to give us thoughts on that?
I mean, it was fun. Everyone says it's like the best match that, not Rhea, but what's her name has ever had. I mean, it was fine. The whole story was, will she, won't she be able to do the Riptide? And plus, she eventually does. Plus, she's just so over in Australia. It feels like this was a little dip in the toe to see how a Rhea face run would go.
Yeah. So for me, based on what I saw of this card, everything I've seen so far has been enjoyable. I like the fact that it's not like 100 matches.
Especially for me late at night, I was like, okay, I can get through.
I'm going to give Elimination Chamber, based on what I've seen, 3.25 bells.
I'm going to give it 3.7 bells.
Ooh.
And the men's chamber match was my favorite.
All right. I'm going to say the tag match was my favorite because I love that match. EVP Joe, what about you?
Yeah, favorite match was the tag match. I'm giving this 3 bells. It was very, don't take this wrong, it was very predictable, but sometimes predictable is the right thing to do.
So right. Can you get the little math machine there?
Get the math machine going, Mr. Joe.
So 3 plus 3.25 plus 3.7, 3.31.
That's not bad.
That's solid. That's solid. Yeah.
Out of 5, yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. I thought it was enjoyable. The shots they showed of Perth, Australia, looked absolutely gorgeous.
Dude, I will say, since Kevin Dunn has left, the production value in WWE has skyrocketed.
I thought the exact same thing when I was watching this.
Do you know what I will say, though, is that I would never, ever attend an Elimination Chamber match, especially if I have you can't see shit.
No.
Look at the people, those top.
Yeah, they showed the point of view of like people that were sitting up at the top. I was like, what would you're just paying money to go and sit and watch the big screen. You can't see what's going on in the ring.
Yeah.
Especially with the chamber blocking your view.
Yeah, and you get that what is it called?
That little apparatus or whatever.
All
connected.
Yeah, that's where they would use to bring up and down the cage. And then the worst part is sun out, no sun. You could just see shadows over everybody. It was hard to see some people.
Did you guys notice there was purple covering the screen of the wrestlers sometimes?
I didn't notice that. No.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, someone that tweeted that I forget that girl, the podcast, a young girl's podcaster. She's like, look, he had one of those Willy Wonka purple berry dinners.
But yeah, I mean the shots that they had of Australia, it just looked absolutely gorgeous. I was like, damn, I want to visit Australia now.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to go to Australia.
It looks like a lovely place. It does.
Just keep all the spiders and snakes away from me, and we're good.
All right, let's turn the page over to
Collision.
All right, Collision it is. Let's go to match number 1 here. It's a no disqualification match. Sammy Guevara versus Powerhouse. Here's my notes here real quickly. Hobbs steals Kevin Kelly's belt to whip Sammy Guevara. There's some brutal spots here. I mean, obviously the table spot with Guevara doing the swanton through 2 tables with Powerhouse. Pretty brutal. Funny spot that Shivani had a couple of fuck ups tonight. This is one he said that the LCD screen monitor was glass on one side. I'm like, Tony, Like this isn't tube monitors from like 1995. This is an LCD screen, but
I think he thinks it is.
yeah, I can't get my Windows 95 to work out here, guys. Hobbs wins with the world's strongest slam off the ropes through a table. What a brutal, fun match. Like, I absolutely love this. I thought this was great. EVP Joe, what do you think of this match?
So coming into this match, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm so over the Don Callis family versus Jericho and his buddies.
Yeah.
But by the end, I loved the match. It was fun. Like,
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing about this whole thing is like Shivani and Kelly are like, Sammy Guevara has changed. He's a dad now. He's not so crazy. Out comes tables and a 50-foot ladder.
God is always like, I guess we were wrong.
Yeah.
See, I'm kind of the same way. I thought that going into this, like, God, why are these two wrestling? But then I loved it. I thought it was great. Canada Dry, what did you think of this?
You could have given this away on the pay-per-view. Even on the kickoff show, and it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
The fact they gave this away for free, incredible. It's entertaining. And I don't know if I just still hating on Sammy Guevara as he's. I'm like, you stop being so good because I hate you. There's inner turmoil going on.
I'm not super into Sammy Guevara myself. I mean, he's athletic as hell, but his work is just okay to me. I don't know, but I did love his work here.
To me, he's the guy that if you could do trades between AEW and WWE, I'd be on the phone with like Triple H. Like, listen, what do you got? What do you got for me? I'll give you Sammy.
Yeah, they wouldn't take.
Give me a deal. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't think the E would trade any other roster for him. I really don't.
I don't know. Is he a Cody guy?
Sammy?
I don't know. I don't know if he
Sammy
is
is most definitely a Cody guy.
Yeah, so he could.
If he's a Cody guy, possibly. I don't know, but I'm not. He's a guy who can do all the flippy dippy shit. Like he's good at doing that. He's very acrobatic. He can hit the big spots. I just don't think he offers much more than that. I think that's about it. You know, like I think his ring psychology is just kind of meh.
Here's my one.
You know what he needs? He needs a freaking gimmick. He's been Sammy Guevara this whole time. Like,
bring back the panda hat.
Well, not that. That's a stupid gimmick, but something that's like,
okay,
like, and it's almost you get him when you do a gimmick, you're almost getting a personality implant.
Like, no, real quick, whoever is Facebook user is talking here, you need to go give the permission for your name to be shown because we have no idea who's talking to us.
Yeah, we can't see who you are, man, or girl, whoever you are, Facebook user.
My biggest problem was they showed the graphic for this Meat Matchmania thing while in picture, and I couldn't read it, couldn't see it. Like, so what? It's just a triple threat match between three big guys? Woohoo, I don't care. This is not going to do anything.
Stay tuned for picture.
Hey, look, it's Bad Take Cade.
Bad Take Cade. All right. Coming in on the Facebook end tonight. That's cool.
Yeah, as long as you tell us who you are, Bad Take Cade, well, it's BTC all day.
Noob says, bring back the panda hat so he can be KO's sidekick. We've got a BCC video promo. Moxley says that the time limit draw is unsatisfactory. Talks about Claudio walking 20 miles for his first wrestling training session, blah, 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 blah. They want to wrestle FTR again, which
they accepted the challenge that was put out.
Yeah. So they're gonna wrestle again at Revolution. Match number 2,
I was really hoping like they would say like something to the effect of like, oh, that time limit draw wasn't good enough, you didn't beat us, let's go 2 out of 3 falls.
It's
something definitive
enough. I gotta have more blood and piss in my matches.
So did you guys see on Rampage that Orange Cassidy throws him the hat during the match?
No, I didn't
And
see
he puts
that.
it on, and that's kind of it powers him up
Oh,
instead of kicking Roddy's ass.
I fell asleep before the main event. I didn't watch the main event.
I did
Yeah,
too.
it looks
Yeah.
like he's probably going to be Hat Jake Hager in The Best Friends. It's looking like that. If they just,
Fantastic.
I don't mind it. It's better than having Jake sitting around doing nothing.
I mean, you gotta do something with the guy. So I mean,
Yeah, I guess.
why not? I mean, I'm not. You guys know I'm not big on The Best Friends, but
He's an upgrade on Chuck Taylor. Let's just say.
yeah, he's definitely an upgrade on my fellow Kentuckian Chuck Taylor for sure. Match number 2, we got FTR versus Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. Gee, I wonder who was gonna win this match. Yeah, I mean, this match was what it was. It was okay. The thing that stood out to me was that Dax Harwood's movement is so fluid. I mean, the guy looks like he never fucks up a spot. I mean, he's just so good.
It's weird. It's like for these last couple weeks, Dax and Cash have flipped roles in the tag psychology because usually it's Dax who gets the hot tag, but here recently it's Cash who's been getting the hot tag.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see where FTR goes after Cash's legal issues.
Do I want Matthew's prayers? Should I take them?
Sure.
Okay, I will take your prayers. Thank you very much.
He's standing there with your girlfriend in his picture, so.
Stay away from my girlfriend, Matthew.
Stay away from my girl. We're going to have to get Maury Povich up in this bitch. Yeah.
Oh,
so Jerry Springer.
So I just want to say while we're talking about my girlfriend. So we got that intro at the beginning. Natalia Markova has agreed to say this is the garage after dark in a sexy voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I sent that to her. I said, can you do it in a sexy voice? You know what she said to me?
What?
I only do sexy voice.
Well, that should be pretty exciting to see. I mean, I think the new setup we have here, the new intro song, the new layout here in StreamYard, I think it looks fantastic. It sounds fantastic. This is going to be a badass show moving forward.
Yeah, and I like that this is kind of set apart differently. It's a different feel.
Yeah.
I like it.
I do too. Canada, do you have any thoughts on the second match?
I say that Shane Taylor has a hips that don't lie.
He's a beefy gentleman for sure. Yeah.
He's got womanly hips. He's got perfect hips for a man.
He's got womanly hips. That's quote of the night right there from Canada. Shane
Taylor has womanly hips. But yeah, it was entertaining. It was entertaining.
Joe, what'd you think? Do you have any other thoughts about this match?
I mean, it was better than I thought it was going to be. Shane Taylor Promotions, both Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty look really good, but that's kind of been status quo for a while now with FTR. They have really gone into making sure the other teams look good. My only complaint is they called the finish of the match a doomsday device. No, that's a Steiner bulldog. That's not a clothesline flipping the guy off the shoulders.
I think that this is safer.
Oh, yes, it absolutely is.
Did Shivani say that?
I think so.
He said said something about Steiners. He didn't correct the doomsday thing. He just was
Shivani was messing up like crazy tonight. I don't know if he needs to drink some an energy drink or what, but he just
needs to go back to making his coffee like his back in his barista days on BTE.
Yeah, he had another big screw up that I'll get to later too, whenever the time arises. We got match number 3 here: Thunder Rosa versus Lady Bird Monroe, with a very interesting usage of the American flag on her posterior. Rosa wins a quick one. Not really.
Look at that. This is not cool.
I'm stealing your girlfriend. Yeah, Matthew, that's not cool, man. You can't be stealing people's girlfriends. I mean, I know we're all wrestling fans here. We're all susceptible to being single very quickly. But you can't be doing that shit, bro. We got to watch out for each other. All right. This is a quick match. Not really much to it. I like the Day of the Dead paint over the whole face of Thunder Rosa. I thought that looked really cool. And I thought she looked really good this match. Do either of you have any real thoughts about this before we move on?
Yeah. No, it's great that they're doing more women's matches. Quit using like enhancement squash talent. You have enough women to where you don't have to do that.
True.
That's
this was a quick Thunder Rosa match. We'll move on because there's an actually good women's match on this card.
Yes, it is. And then we'll talk about what your favorite Kelly match of all time is. So we can talk about some good women's wrestling.
I don't know if I can remember a Kelly match. Yes. Okay.
We've got Willow and Statlander with Stokely Hathaway. They're talking to Renee backstage. Statlander wants to fight Sky Blue. They talk shit about Blue and Julia Hart, and
Sky Blue issued a challenge last night on
Rampage.
Yeah, on Rampage.
Yeah. All right. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, moving on. We got match number 4. We got Daddy Ass, Jay White, and Colton Gunn versus the Iron Savages. These Iron Savages guys always just randomly show up on Collision. Here's my notes. Max Caster fucked up the intro rap.
He sure did. He said, "Screw it, I don't care anymore."
He messed up his bar and he just quit. One of the Savages randomly was showing their chest, like exposing their boobs. And
what did you hear what they called it?
On them. Like, what is up with that?
Did you hear what they called it later on in the match?
No.
They called it Titty City.
Titty City. Like, I feel like they do all these little inside things with these guys that never are on TV, and they just expect everybody in the crowd to know what it is.
Like, here's the problem. And I know we've touched on this before, but it feels like Tony Khan thinks that all of his fan base watches all of the content to include like BTE. That's not the case.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's all these like inside gags that like.
Well, I think they had the Iron Savages say some of these weird things before, but it's not enough to establish them.
I mean, these guys show up on Collision once a month and job to a tag team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they do. Like, they don't have any consistency where people are supposed to know what they are and what they're about.
So here's my question I want to pose to you two guys.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say
these two up here,
in a different world, that the Iron Savages win. And let's say, who should they go after? Which set of trios titles should they have gotten a shot at?
The Ring of Honor?
Yes.
I mean,
it depends who they pinned.
I mean, these are Ring of Honor caliber guys. I mean, these aren't like, main show guys, in my opinion. That would be my thoughts.
I was watching the golden era of wrestling on YouTube by Cultaholic.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to part 2. And David Sammartino lost to a jobber on purpose.
On purpose?
Yes.
I've never heard that story.
Yes. I was watching it and they were like going through like what, because David Sammartino was supposed to be this big thing.
Right.
And I guess he was just tired of the bullshit back.
Like, was he the son of Bruno or?
Yeah.
This is his brother, wasn't he?
No, this is his
It was his son?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he's in a bear hug against some jobber on the main show, and he taps. and he leaves the company. He's like, I've had enough.
Never seen or heard from again.
Yeah, so they have this jobber that has a victory. It's like,
that reminds me when Gail Kim eliminated herself from the women's battle royal in her last WWE match.
Or Jeff Hardy just walking out through the crowd.
Now you don't remember that, Cam, to draw? Gail Kim eliminated herself.
The Gail Kim elimination, no.
No, I don't remember that either. But then again, that might have been a time where I quit watching for a while. So
it was her last match. She was leaving WWE. She was frustrated. She was done. And they had a women's battle royal on Raw. And she literally just hopped over the top rope and eliminated herself and left.
Hey,
something might have happened there. She's like, all right, that's it. I don't need this.
Yeah,
shit.
something must have pissed her off because she's like, fuck this shit. I'm out.
yeah,
of
it was
here.
her last night, and they made her wrestle in a meaningless women's battle royal.
Yeah. And to my
But
knowledge, I
something
don't
might
know
have
if she's
happened where
ever
she got
back.
hit. And it wasn't supposed to be that hard. She's like, that's it.
I don't know. But I mean, she's married to a millionaire chef and, she doesn't need WWE anymore.
Yeah, right.
So it's all good. Colton took a really brutal fall. I don't know if you guys noticed that. That looked very painful.
It did.
Hopefully he's okay after that. But the Bang Bang Scissor Gang ends up winning this match, of course. So I don't know. Did either of you have any real thoughts about this match? Canada Dry, what do you think about this match?
It was a filler. It was okay, but it was a filler.
I'm going to be honest here. I don't like this Scissor Bang Bang Gang. I don't like it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Like,
my
question is, like, they just formed. Why are they already teasing dissension?
Yeah,
within the group.
Yeah,
there's a slight hint of that.
Here's my problem. These guys banded together so that they could rise up and fight the Undisputed Kingdom, right?
They just never.
And now they don't fight the Undisputed Kingdom.
Yeah, they're not even the target for them.
It completely removes the whole idea of these feuding cliques getting together to fight a conjoined enemy, a common enemy.
Yeah,
it just
enemy
makes
of.
no sense.
Do you know why they're not doing it?
Enemy of my enemy is my friend, and now they're just like, hey, we're buddies.
Yeah.
You know why they're not doing it though? Because that faction isn't ready yet. That's pretty much the main reason.
And I mentioned this kind of earlier on Magic. It's these guys were like the top heels, and then like all of a sudden now it's like they just barely do anything, and they're feuding.
I think it's because of injuries, though. I think they're waiting for Adam Cole to get better. They're waiting for Wardlow to kind of be 100% again.
But how do they go from like the hot top angle to all of a sudden they're like second segment on every show, even if they're even on the show? It's just.
Well, you also have a problem of their main antagonist is on the shelf too. So like, that's literally killed it. Like,
well, they got to move on to somebody else then. For a while. Like they need to maintain as the top heel faction. Yeah. Otherwise, none of this even makes it. It all seems like it's all for naught.
Yeah, they can still repair it though. There's still hope.
Like this would all work better if they wouldn't have announced like 6 weeks ago that, oh, we're going to get all the gold, and then you're stringing out this Roddy Strong versus OC match. Like, really, they should have just had this as like a shock title change on a Dynamite one night.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it would give a little more momentum to the group.
Even that very night, you could have done it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby. All right, moving on. We got a Danielson promo about facing Akiyama. Now, I know you guys love this promo.
Yes, this is what we were talking about earlier.
Because we are not Eddie Kingston fans around here. He gives a scathing promo about Kingston wasting his potential, and it pisses him off that Kingston's wasted his potential. And because of that, he is going to take the Triple Crown Championship from him at Revolution. Canada Dry, what did you think of this promo?
I loved it.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it was good. I don't know if you're talking about potential. You're talking about someone who just finishes wrestling school, and the world's their oyster. I don't think he's that great of a wrestler. Where's the potential?
Yeah,
like, he just never took off the launch pad.
He does the chops, he does a forearm, and he does a suplex.
Yes, like as a wrestler, you don't have much.
Yeah.
So I think who's the guy that does the redneck kung fu? Mark Briscoe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think he's got more in his repertoire than Kingston.
He does.
Oh, Mark Briscoe's a much better wrestler than Eddie Kingston. Yeah, 100% agree. EVP Joe, wax poetic and tell me what you think.
I love when you pull out the JFB-isms.
Tell me what you think of this.
I love this promo because he's literally saying what the three of us were thinking. Like, especially Canada Dry is like, they praise they praise Eddie Kingston as this great talker, and all he ever does is like, "Oh, I got you, cameraman. I know." Like, he just doesn't like immerse himself like everyone else does, and like he treats this as like a real thing instead of being in the kayfabe world. Like, it's like he doesn't fit in the world of AEW to me.
Yeah, I mean, he does the stick where he's like, yeah, I know, I got a
Like,
30-second
gotta
promo.
go. Like
that was my favorite thing about Bryan Danielson's promo tonight, is just mocking his promos.
Yeah, he's like every time he sits there and says, "I need to go stretch," you're wasting my. Then why are you talking, dude? Like, the whole point of a promo is to get yourself over, not whine and moan and complain like you do.
He's got to do the New York thing of, what are you doing? You're wasting my time. Get out of here.
You know when Eddie Kingston was the best in AEW is when he first came.
Yeah.
Yeah, he after him and Punk. No, his best for me was him and Punk. Their little mini feud that they had.
Okay, yeah,
that was the best.
I enjoyed the stuff when he had the Lucha Brothers as his family. I liked that little faction he had there.
Yeah. And him and Punk like legitimately hated each other. And they continued taking shots at each other for like months after they were done feuding.
You know, here's my thing about people like that. Usually, you know why they don't like Punk or Punk doesn't like them?
Why is that?
Because you're seeing a mirror.
You're
looking at the things you do not like in yourself.
That's a good point.
Usually that's what it's like. If say Jeremy here, I'm sorry, Mr. Isaacs, he does something that I don't like about myself, I'm like, fuck that guy. That was actually an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Ooh, nice reference.
We had William Riker. They picked up a clone of himself. That was a result of the engineering mistake with the beaming up.
Right.
And so he was beamed up, but he was left down there at the same time. So created two. And they didn't get along because it's just like, I couldn't stand myself either. I get it. that was a brilliant piece of art.
It's because they didn't have Scotty on the Next Generation.
Yes.
That's the reason why they didn't have a proper engineer to handle the beaming mechanism.
Yes,
and just screwed the whole thing up. That's what it
is. Are you a Next Generation guy? Did you like the?
I'm not a hardcore Trekkie guy, but like my dad was a big fan. Big Bill was a big fan of Star Trek, so I saw the Next Generation growing up. Yeah. And the original series.
Did you like Captain Picard? Did you like Data?
I never watched Star Trek.
No, more of a Star Wars guy.
Neither.
No sci-fi going on.
Nope.
No.
Joe's like, I don't like that whack ass shit.
No, it's just my dad was never into it, so I was never really exposed to it.
Okay.
So.
My dad was a sci-fi guy. Like he likes sci-fi, so I saw
the sci-fi guy.
My dad was either horror movies or old Clint Eastwood westerns or like John Wayne movies.
You know what I can get into? What I can get into every once in a while is a Twilight Zone episode, like the old black and whites.
Ooh.
I can't do old black and white TV shows. I can't.
Every once in a while, it's this forgotten, like, it was still pretty damn good for the time. It was.
I just remember one episode, and it was the episode where William Shatner's on a plane, and he keeps seeing like an ape ripping off pieces of the plane, and he can't ever get anybody to like know that. He keeps telling everybody that there's like an ape outside ripping off the wing, and nobody will believe him because when they look out, there's nothing there. What's that?
I think it was a gremlin.
It was something. It kind of looked like a giant ape, some kind of gremlin looking thing, something like that. And then, of course, eventually it just tears the whole wing off and they die.
I'm like, the whole point of that was like, no one would believe him, but there's not anything they could do about it either.
He's like, look outside. Look outside. There's a creature out there and it's tearing the wing off the plane.
Did you guys ever see Soylent Green?
No.
So it's this 70s movie.
I've heard of it.
And so the whole idea is they have this one food source, and it's called Soylent Green. And there's this big scene where this guy's overacting. Soylent Green is people. It's people.
So were they eating people? Were they cannibals?
Yeah. So what they did with the non, I guess, not society people that don't fit into the society, they would round them up and put them in the processor and make the soy.
I wonder if it tasted like chicken.
Now we're getting into some gray area here.
Well, they say all
Do
meat.
you know what they call people? They call long pork.
Long pork.
Yes,
I don't think I've ever heard that term.
Yes, it's there's people that buy the shit on weird black markets.
I'm aware of
it's a crazy world out there that we don't acknowledge ever.
Yeah, I'm aware that there is a market for human meat out there. It's a hell of an after dark topic here on Open Wrestling. We're getting to the hard hitting facts.
The edgier areas, we'll touch them. We will go a little near them. We're not going to embrace them. What we're doing, we're like in that scene of Stand By Me, where they find the dead body and they're like poking it with the stick.
But we poked it with a stick. remember that on The Simpsons? They're like, we found a dead body. Well, what did you guys do with it? Did you kill the person? No, but we poked him with a stick. Moving on here.
Stand By Me. Who wrote that? That's a Stephen King, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Stephen King story.
The Stephen King. It's a weird story if you think about it. They're traveling to find this dead body to become heroes.
Stephen King, he has some very bizarre stories, especially like some of the ones from like the 80s and the 70s. Yeah, that's like really, really messed up stuff that some stuff you really couldn't put in a book today. Like, have you read the book or seen the movie Cujo?
That's one I couldn't watch.
Couldn't watch it?
No, okay. I couldn't. Here's the reason why.
Yeah,
because I had a Saint Bernard. As a child, I had a Saint Bernard.
So you were scared your Saint Bernard was going to eat you?
No, it was just that I have love for this dog, and I didn't want to,
I can understand that. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at was that I listened to the audiobook version of Cujo when I was working a few years back.
Yeah.
And it's like this old lady. She sounds like a grandma was the narrator of this. And there's a scene where like a dude breaks into this chick's house and goes up to her bed and does something to himself on her bed. And to hear this old lady go into intricate detail, because Stephen King uses intricate detail about what this man did to her bed, scarred me. I still think about it to this day. I'm like, it sounds like a little grandma, like explaining masturbation on a bed. It's horrifying.
See, that's the thing about being like a horror writer. Especially where you get like writing about serial killers.
Right.
And trying to act out their twisted things in story form. That's gonna fuck with your brain.
Well, there's a scene in a scene in It in the book that's actually edited out of new versions. Are you aware of this?
No.
Yeah. So there's a scene where the kids they think they're going to get killed by Pennywise, and they make a pact with each other. And the way they make a pact is they have sex with each other. Yeah.
I think you told me this before.
Have I told you this?
I think you might have.
I don't remember talking about this on here, but
yeah. Ooh, I'm having here because I totally remember.
Yeah, you might have had a conversation.
I didn't read the book, but I've heard this before.
But that story, that part of it is actually edited out of new versions of the book because obviously, that's something that's become like a topic over the past few years, right?
Yeah.
With child acts and things like that, predators and whatever.
Yeah.
So that scene was edited out. It's not in like current versions of the book, but it's in the old original. Like,
that's probably good that it's out of there.
And Stephen King even said that he regrets putting that in the book. He said that he thought that it made sense in context at the time, but that he regrets putting that in. He wish he hadn't wrote that part. So
well, there you go. It's not in it there no more. So you put
it's edited out. But yeah, that scene is literally gone from the book now if you get it today. But and that's a hell of a book. It's like 1,500 pages. I've read it, and it took forever.
Do we have the It thing finished now, or is there another one?
Oh, it's done. Yeah, I mean,
parts, right?
The book is so massive they had to split it into 2 movies. So yeah, but yeah, it's done. It's done.
This is quite the rabbit trail around here.
I don't even remember how we got onto this subject.
We just started talking about pop culture, and that's okay.
Yeah,
I just hope we're not boring you, Joseph.
Nope, you're fine.
Okay. Joe is always just kind of giving us the stare, like, "Will you 2 idiots shut up and get back?"
No, like, I mean,
will you stop?
No, like a little thing about me, I don't do horror, so I can't really add to this conversation because I've never seen it or read it or anything like that.
That's fair. That's fair. All right.
Well, maybe we get back to the Ross.
Let's get back on track here. We got match number 5, Malachi Black versus Brian Keith. Now, guys, one thing I noticed that stuck out to me right away, Malachi Black has only had 11 singles matches in his entire AEW run. That is insane to me. Were you all aware that he had so few matches?
Yes.
Wow.
But I know, but there's reason for it because for the longest time he was dealing with a back injury. So It makes sense. You put him in tags matches, you put him in trios matches, he doesn't have to do as much work.
Right.
But now he's come out and said that he's fully healthy. So now hopefully we'll see more singles matches from Malachi.
That was just a wild statistic because he's been in this company, what, 3-4 years? I mean, a long time.
3 years, I think.
Yeah. To only have 11 singles matches.
Or like 2.5 years. I think this summer will be 3 years.
It'll be 3 years this summer. Okay. Well, anyways.
Hopefully this means he's going to be doing a match against Mark Briscoe at the pay-per-view.
It kind of looks like they might be leaning that direction. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like they're headed towards that. I kind of wonder if that's going to be like a pre-show match or something. I don't know because they haven't made it official. But
yeah, I'm sure it would. I wouldn't be surprised me if it's a 0-hour match.
But we're going to get to Mark Briscoe in a second. Let's not jump ahead here. We got both guys look really good in this match. Brian Keith he's so good. Like, I like him a lot. Malachi Black, I love. I've always been a big fan of his work in the ring. This was a good back and forth. We got This Is Awesome chance. Black wins via the Black Mass. Lights go out post-match. Mark Briscoe's in the ring with a kendo stick. Feigns like he's going to beat up Malachi Black. The rest of House of Black runs in. He hits them with the stick. They end up overpowering him and walking off as Tony Schiavone makes an announcement that Tony Khan says in his ear, there's going to be a
okay, I got that, Tony. I got it.
I got it, Tony. I got it. You quit yelling at me, you son of a bitch. But they're going to be in a trios match. Excuse me, not 6-man, a trios match. I got to use the right AEW lingo here. Yeah. For this Wednesday on Dynamite.
Who's in that match?
It was Mark Briscoe and God, I'm blanking. Here. I don't remember. Can I try? Do you remember what they said it was?
It is the FTR and Eddie Kingston versus
that's BCC.
That's BCC.
That's a different trios match.
Maybe I'm getting the segments confused here. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I did know about that one. I was like, I must have missed that one where they.
Yeah, I think that's the only one there was.
Yeah. Well, anyways, what'd you guys think of the match? Canada, I'll start with you.
I enjoyed it. Good to see Malachi Black back in singles match. Like, if there's anyone I want to hold gold, the most or top 5 maybe is is freaking Malachi Black. He needs a title. Like, you want to make that TNT title relevant again?
Yeah.
Have it on, put on Malachi Black.
Yeah. EVP Joe.
I really enjoyed this match. Like I said, it was great to see Malachi in singles match again. And this is for any wrestler. I love when a wrestler has a finisher that can be, for lack of a better term, out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
he could just hit that back spinning kick out of nowhere and make it look so good. I love it. So hopefully this leads to more singles matches with Malachi, because
Did you ever see any of the sharpshooters out of nowhere?
No.
Sharpshooter out of nowhere.
Well, it comes when they're doing a drop kick to Brett from the top ropes, and he catches.
Oh
them.
yeah, and he sort of like power bombs them and then just steps into it.
Yeah. Pretty much a sharpshooter out of nowhere.
See, we always got to get our one Bret Hart reference in.
Yes.
We got a Markova reference earlier. Now we got the Bret reference. So we've hit our Canada Dry bingo here for the night.
For this morning, the magic of wrestling. What would I call TNA if I owned it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you said I got the pink and black ropes.
Yeah.
I'm calling it the Hitman Wrestling League.
Ooh, HWL. I like it. I would tune into that.
Yeah, Hitman Wrestling League.
If it was a
you would really need to let everyone know it's a wrestling group and not a Mercs for Hire show. But other than that, you're good.
No, you know why? You know who the president I'm putting in charge? I'm putting Brett as my face. He's the commissioner. He's the booker. I'm just the secret guy that comes out and pretends I'm a manager or something.
The secret guy.
I'm just someone's manager that's actually the real boss.
He's the secret guy that hangs out in the back and pretends to do something.
Well, it's kind of like I've got a mark for how Vince used to do things. He was just the freaking announcer. It's freaking cool if you think about that. He's the freaking owner of the company, and he's just pretending he's a lowly announcer.
Yeah, which was the same job he had when his dad was running it. So he just kept the same job and just added on to it, right?
Like, you remember hearing that as you were growing up watching WWE?
I couldn't believe it.
You're like,
when I heard it, I was like,
he's the owner, right?
I was like, wait a minute. The guy who's doing the commentary is the owner? Like, that blew my mind when I was a little kid.
Do you remember that, Joe?
Vaguely. Like, so I was born in 85. So this, like, when that happened, I was maybe 8 or 9. So I wasn't, it didn't quite click with me like it did towards like 98, 99. I was 14, 15 and everything like that. So,
yeah. Because, I mean, they didn't outright say he was the owner for many, many years.
Yeah.
Like, if you weren't an insider, you didn't know.
I think when they finally did that reveal when Brett shoved Vince McMahon in the cage, when the cage was being taken down.
I think that's when kayfabe came out and said that he was the owner then. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like this.
So before then, he was always just a broadcast journalist.
Yeah.
That would say, what a maneuver.
Yeah.
What a maneuver. We've got match number 6 here. I know Canada Dry is chomping at the bit to talk about this one. Serena Deeb versus Lady Frost. Let me get through my notes before you jump in here.
You know.
I know. Excellent technical wrestling from Deeb here. I thought this was an absolutely phenomenal match. Deeb wins by submission, and she gets on the mic after the match, says that she'll take on all challengers and wants to elevate the women's division. And she took a little shot at Toni Storm and Julia Hart, saying, I don't have to make the lights go out, or I don't have to make the screen black and white. I could just get in here and wrestle. Go Canada Dry.
Let me first say that I do not like Lady Frost.
You didn't like her in this match?
I don't know. Something about her is just, I think she's hard to wrestle with. To make things flow properly. It's just her style. I don't know. But whenever she's in there, she makes another person lower. I That's just what I noticed. I could be wrong.
All right.
Everything Serena Deeb did was good, but it just because of what she was doing, it wasn't as good as it could have been. Are you following me here?
I could see that. I mean, Lady
It
Frost.
was a good match, but it felt like it was missing something.
I'm not going to pretend I know a ton about Lady Frost, but I know she's been working lucha.
Yeah.
Which is very, very diametrically opposed to the technical ground-based catch can style that Deeb is performing here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see there being a little bit of a clash of styles here. Yeah.
And Aminata, it just goes to show how good Aminata is at this time, because that match between Deeb and her was so good.
She's really good. Yeah, I'm impressed.
You get two good wrestlers. I was trying to get Natalia to admit who she would want to have a match with.
Yeah, she wouldn't say anything.
But this is what I did. I pulled it out of her.
Oh, did you?
Because I in my conversations with her in our private, she's told me that she would love to wrestle Deeb. So I just said, listen, I already know that you want to face Deeb, as she'd be your ultimate match. So she admitted, yes, she loves Deeb. That would be her dream match, pretty much.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I know whenever you talk to her on air, you couldn't get her to like make any preference or choice of any kind. You're like, Natalia, would you prefer McDonald's or Burger King? I don't choose.
They're both good.
They're both good, and I don't make choices, and I don't do that.
Yeah. Burger King sucks. Burger King is not good. So.
Bro, I was talking about this with a friend of mine that lives here. We had a Burger King here that shut down, right? And, I live in small town Kentucky here. A new Burger King went in last year, and I swear you would think that, like, I don't know, like some kind of fucking 5-star restaurant came in. It was lined down the street for like a solid month to get rubbery tasting burgers.
Oh, man.
That's so funny.
Can you smell that flame broad whopper?
Because I live here in Maryland, and I'm like literally right next door to Delaware. And Delaware got a Raising Cane's.
Ooh.
And like for like the first month, you couldn't get in there. It was so busy. I still haven't gone there. But like that first month, it was like just line after line. It's like the line never ended. I'm like, there's no way fast food fried chicken is that good.
You haven't tried it yet.
That.
I haven't tried
Burger
it yet.
King.
Yeah,
How crazy
I can
is
see it from Raising Cane's. I can't see it from Burger King. That's bizarre world right there.
Oh my God, that's small town America for you, in a nutshell.
Should we get EVP Joe's thoughts on
EVP Joe? Wax poetic about this, fine sir.
I mean, honestly, the match was fine. Like, I love watching Serena Deeb just operate. She's so smooth. I was more interested, like you said, in her promo. Like, part of me felt like she was calling out Mercedes Moné. Like, because there was a line, and I don't remember what it felt, but it felt like a direct shot to, like, Mercedes Moné. Maybe they're the first.
Oh, this is about wrestling. It's not about glam and all this stuff.
Maybe. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was that. There was something that just made me think of Mercedes Moné right away. But yeah, like, I can't wait to, like, I hope she gets a title soon. Like,
what are your thoughts on Lady Frost in this match? Do you disagree with me?
I don't think I have as harsh of an opinion of her as you do. But yeah, was it like, I think
she didn't look horrible. She just didn't look.
No, she like Lady Frost doesn't do anything for me. Like,
yeah,
like you said, for me, like sometimes styles makes fights, and these two, at least for these two ladies in particular, these styles didn't mesh well. But at the same time, it wasn't completely horrible.
No, it wasn't horrible. It's just like it was missing something to make it a good match.
Like it never hit like that next gear that you would expect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I thought she looked all right. I think build wise, I think she looks incredible.
Oh yeah, like
and those clips they were showing of her doing the lucha shit and CMLL, I thought she looked really good.
Where is that one? Where's that Lady Frost here?
Yeah,
bring the CMLL.
They don't have
AEW.
Yeah, she should be the one wrestling Thunder Rosa.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that would have been a better matchup. Yeah, which I think they said she was a last second replacement for somebody, right?
It was supposed to be Kiera Hogan, but she was
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, so it is what it is. But I know JFB's high on her because I've heard him mention that on prior shows. So I guess we just haven't seen her full potential yet. So hopefully we get to see that in AEW.
Well, if he's seeing her, he's probably seeing her in the lucha matches, which
I think he saw her in Impact or somewhere like that. She was in Impact for a while, if I'm not mistaken.
Who,
I
Lady
think
Frost?
Liam likes her too because Liam's a big Impact guy. Yeah,
Are you talking Lady Frost? Yeah, she was in Impact for a bit.
yeah.
And she looked different. Like, I don't know if she does her hair different, but I didn't recognize, because I've seen her in Impact. I didn't recognize her here in AEW. So
yeah, she's putting a little bit more meat on her bones.
She looks phenomenal. Like she looks super strong and athletic. Yeah. I mean, she looks really good. So we'll see more of her in the future, I'm sure. Let's go ahead and move on to match 7, the main event, gentlemen.
Main event
Before the main event starts, we got Eddie Kingston out to the commentary table. I know you guys are very excited to hear what he has to say. Bryan Danielson versus Jun Akiyama. Here's the other screw up of Shivani. Shivani says it's Akiyama's first time on AEW TV, and then they immediately show a package of him wrestling on Rampage.
oops. Hey, maybe that maybe was like one of the Rampages on the internet. You know, maybe it technically wasn't on TV.
I think I remember him being on Rampage. I think I do, but yeah, right after Shivani says this is the first time he's been on AEW television, they immediately show him on AEW television. So
I don't even remember.
I thought they said this isn't the first time.
I thought he said that this is the first time he's been on AEW
I remember
television.
the opposite, actually.
I don't even remember Jun Akiyama like wrestling before.
Yeah, I don't remember that when that was against Proud and Powerful, but
yeah. But anyways, I thought Kelly and Nigel did a really good job putting over everybody involved here. They gave a lot of history about Jun Akiyama here and the influence of him on Danielson and on Kingston, and a little bit of just historical context of who this guy is and where he came from, which I think is good because they're bad about putting guys like this in matches and like 10% of the audience knows who he is. I mean, let's just be real here. Jun Akiyama is a big name in Japan. Jun Akiyama is not going to be known by 90% of wrestling fans here, unless you're like us and you do a podcast about wrestling. Yeah. I don't even know much about the guy myself. I've just heard.
I don't either.
I just know the name because it's a big name.
It's pretty much how it is for me too. But as far as the match itself goes, I mean, it was great technical wrestling. It's a Daniel Bryan match. I thought Jun Akiyama looked amazing. I thought he looked really good in this match. Of course, Danielson ends up getting the win here. Danielson, I think, flips off Kingston, which pisses off Akiyama, who slaps Danielson. Danielson then goes to shake his hand, apologize to him, and kicks him in the groin. This leads to a melee where Kingston gets in the ring, has a scuffle with Danielson. Claudio comes out, jumps on Kingston, and then FTR comes out. There's a big schmoz to end the program, which I wasn't expecting that, to be honest with you, but I thought this was a really good match. It was just another Daniel Bryan showcase. Bryan Danielson showcase match, basically, which is what he's doing basically every single week now.
He told us this is what he's going to do.
Yeah. EVP Joe, what'd you think of the main event?
I'm going to be honest. Like, I told Canada Dry before, like, I don't know. I guess because it's Bryan Danielson and Jun Akiyama, I guess my expectations were really high, but this didn't quite meet what I thought we would get. It wasn't a bad match, obviously. It's just, I feel like it's another match where, like, it didn't hit that, like, I guess there was more story-based, like the story was more important than the match at this point. But good Lord, I'm so sick and tired of hearing Nigel on commentary talking about Danielson. It takes away from the enjoyment of matches for me. I hate that WWE does it. I'm glad they don't do it nearly as much anymore. Good Lord, we get it. You don't like them, but you don't need to sit there and chirp about it the whole time. It's so annoying.
It kind of reminds me of the way Heenan always had a chip on his shoulder about Hogan, even all through WCW, based on the feud that he had with Hogan in WWF like a decade prior.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this reminds me of, because it's the same kind of situation. He had a huge feud with Danielson and Ring of Honor,
Oh,
a
yeah.
little over a decade ago.
That's why I am only the only reason I really tolerate this and I don't mute the TV is because I'm assuming this is leading to Danielson and him at All In. Like,
Do you
that's
think
got
he's
to be
cleared to
what this is.
wrestle now?
What was that?
Do you think he's cleared to wrestle now? Is he good with the hepatitis?
Apparently, he was cleared to wrestle for last All In, but Danielson got injured.
Hepatitis ODL.
Well, for those of you who don't know, that's the reason why he had to retire as a wrestler, because he had hepatitis.
Dude, they were fast tracking him to be the big thing in TNA as
Desmond Wolfe,
because he was getting ready to start a big program with Kurt Angle, and then the diagnosis came out and he just derailed everything, which sucks.
Yeah. He for some reason they didn't let him be Nigel in TNA. It was Desmond Wolfe, which was ridiculous.
I can see that if you're a big company like WWE, changing someone's name, but it's literally a lateral move.
I know. Ring of Honor to TNA.
Yeah. It's like they had a talent exchange program because you just seen them both go back and forth all the time.
Which they did for a while. They had a talent exchange for a while until, Rob Feinstein had his, issue. And then Dixie Carter said, yeah, we can't work with you anymore. So that was the end of their relationship. So maybe that's why they changed his name. I don't know. It's weird, but Canada Dry, what'd you think of this match?
This was a good technical match. It was what we thought it would be. It was entertaining. It's good to see this guy. I've heard a lot about him. So sometimes it's a treat to get some of these guys that we don't normally see.
Yeah.
I just wish that Tony Khan would stop focusing on the IWC and that kind of booking. It's like you're not gonna get the casuals.
It's just not going to, this type of booking is just not going to get the company anywhere. It's just not. We're going to enjoy it, but you're not going to grow with main events like this.
Yeah, you're going to keep some of the people you have.
And it's a problem. And I addressed this quite a bit on Magic earlier. I think that's a big problem that Tony Khan and AEW faces right now. I think they're going backwards. They're dwindling in popularity, and that's not good. They need to course correct here and start getting some casuals to watch.
It's so strange too, because it match wise, it's the better product.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah,
but as far as popularity, it's like the good-looking girl is not getting asked to the date.
Yeah,
not asked to the prom. This
yeah.
other popular girl that she's got a nice personality, I guess.
They've just got to find a way to tie it all together, and they've got to have some more logical booking, more consistent booking. I don't know. I hope that he can pull it together. Like I said on Magic earlier, he's super rich. He could run in the deficit for many, probably the rest of his life if he wants to, and still run this company.
Yeah, he could.
But
this
hopefully,
is it's a privately owned company. He doesn't have any shareholders that he has to report to turn a profit. So
yeah, the only people he has to report to are the TV executives he works with, and
they seem immensely happy with everything. So,
and hopefully it stays that way.
Yes,
hopefully so. We need a number two. We don't want to go back to the
interesting, because if you have a healthy number one, AEW isn't going to shrink down to nothing. It's still going to get a lot of people watching.
Right.
Just because WWE is doing really well. AEW is going to do well just because. unless they're delivering some crap that's not watchable anymore.
Right.
And
I
with
mean,
the
there's
roster
always
they
going to
have,
be
that's just not going to happen.
there's always going to be a contingent of the IWC
Yeah.
that's going to watch outside promotions other than WWE.
Yeah.
The hardcores are only going to watch WWE. I know people that literally only watch WWE, and you're never going to get them to watch anything else. They watch WWE, and that's it.
It's
That's the
that
reality.
branding thing. It's what they do really well is hyping things.
Yeah.
No one hypes things like WWE.
Their promo packages, the production team that puts together promo packages and stuff is just top notch, best in the world. Yeah.
And their repetition of things. Finish the story it's 3 words. Finish the story. And they've made it almost a 2-year-long thing.
Yeah.
In our brains.
It's a marketing tool.
Yeah.
And
It's
there's
brilliant.
people who don't even want it to end at the 2-year mark. I'm like, shut up. Because once again, it's trending on long-term booking to just taking forever to tell the story.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, well, hopefully
I'm
Mania
gonna win
is the end
shirt
of
top
it.
of Liam because of this.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
you
hope
got a
so.
bet with Liam. Yeah.
I really don't want to see this belt on Roman after Mania. There's
Yeah.
no point. There's no need for it anymore.
It's time to wind down Roman. I mean, the guy's been on top for a decade now. Like
Yeah.
since like
you know what I would do
2014,
actually
15. What's that?
if Cody's finishing the story? I would have an unsuccessful cash in of Damian Priest on Cody.
Nah, not this year.
Not a Mania. Like,
no, I mean, look. Normally, I would say, yeah, that's cool, but they need to legitimately rehabilitate Money in the Bank because it's been
they need to get rid of it.
get rid of it. I'll give Triple H the chance to rehabilitate it.
Oh, I don't.
But after Austin,
mechanism.
but look, after Austin Theory cashing in on the U.S. title last year, you can't have the way they treat the women's Money in the Bank, which is, oh, let me get rid of it after 15 minutes every year. You can't sit there and have another failed cash in with Priest.
Or Otis winning it and then Miz taking it from him.
Yeah, that was.
Let's talk about this for a second because I think if you made this a random thing every like 4 years, where you make it a pay-per-view, or you make it out of WrestleMania,
they need to put it back under WrestleMania. Is what they
do. Like you could do that, but not. But I don't. I think you don't make it every year.
See, I like it.
I used to like it, but now they've done like all the major angles with it. Now it feels more like it's a nuisance. Like, oh, we got to do.
How do we work around this story-wise?
How are we going to do it this year?
Well, I mean, there's always the tease of the cash in at like every big event.
Warren Finn, though, it's like the King moniker. It's just like
people love it though. Like people pop huge when whoever has the briefcase comes out to the ring for a title match in the heat of the moment when the baby face has the heel down, he's getting ready to beat him, and all of a sudden the music hits and the bastard heel with the briefcase comes running out. I mean, the fans pop for it every single year.
I mean,
honestly, you can never be successful, and that would be fine for like 5-6 years. Never get these fans because you're still elevated with that briefcase.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like maybe like just have it go on hiatus for a couple of years.
Yeah, I'm thinking like take it, give it a nice break, and then bring it back.
You know what they really should do? They should alternate like Money in the Bank, King of the Ring, alternate them. Do different things.
King Booker.
Who got the worst announcer award from
Booker T? Did he get the worst announcer? Yeah, Booker T sucks. Booker T is horrible on commentary.
Only Dave Meltzer would give out the worst for different awards.
Well, to be fair, it's not Dave Meltzer giving out these awards. It's all
the
his followers that vote
Raiders.
on it.
Yeah, the Raiders vote on it.
No, but he's giving the opportunity to vote on something negative. Like, who do you think sucks, y'all?
I mean, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Look,
did you see what they voted worst?
You got to, like, honestly, like, I doubt WWE or anything, but if they were to, like, legitimately listen to the people who vote on this and say he sucks, this wasn't good, it's in a way constructive criticism. But then again, most companies just don't care.
Yeah, but if you were put on a poll as the worst guy in the podcast, you wouldn't like that.
Oh, it'll be me, and that's okay. It doesn't hurt my
feelings. Oh, don't sell yourself short.
No.
You're a valuable asset around here.
Someone has to be last, guys. It's just the nature of the business, okay?
I have got the I don't know if either one of you follow UFC or not, but I've got UFC Fight Night Mexico City on my TV right now. Yair Rodriguez against Brian Ortega. And it's a banger so far.
Nice.
I used to follow UFC real hardcore, but once they started making tough enough like reality, I was like, nope, I'm done. I don't care anymore. But like, like
Matthew says, I caught 7-pound catfish. What did you catch?
Nothing.
You got nothing. That's what you caught.
He also said in another comment that Natalia loves rednecks. Has this been verified?
I don't know. I don't think she does.
I'm not too sure about that, pal, but I'll have Aaron check with her and we'll let you guys know. We'll give you an update on that.
But hey, I do have a real funny UFC story to tell you real quick.
Go ahead.
So you remember when they had Chuck Liddell versus what was his? Why am I drawing a blank to his name now? Rampage Jackson.
Yeah.
So the pay-per-view, I went to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I was the only Rampage Jackson fan there. Everyone else was. I love Chuck Liddell, but I'm a massive Rampage fan. And when Rampage knocked him out, I jumped up and screamed. And I tell you what, this guy at the bar next to me, if looks could kill, he would have killed me and my grandfather, dude. He was mad as hell that I was happy that Rampage won.
I got a funny Buffalo Wild Wings UFC story too. I used to go with my ex to watch some of the UFC pay-per-views at the local Buffalo Wild Wings around here, and I went to the Chael Sonnen Anderson Silva 2 fight. So they had the first fight where Chael Sonnen was winning for all 5 rounds with wrestling,
and then
just gets submitted with a triangle choke in the 5th round, and Silva keeps the title. Well, when they had the rematch, all the dude bros there with the tap out shirts were all hardcore Sonnen. And like when Sonnen got TKO'd by Silva, this dude literally slams down his mug of beer and it shatters all over the table. And like beer and glass goes flying all over the place. I thought that was hilarious.
Some people take this stuff. Did that money on it, maybe?
I don't know. I was pulling for Silva because I didn't like Sonnen. I thought Sonnen was a dumbass.
That's when people like are betting on this shit, and it's like my life is riding on this.
I mean, these were just like some dude bros that were like, I love Chael Sonnen because he looks like me and he talks shit, and like
I'm really surprised like Chael Sonnen didn't end up in the WWE. Like he would fit right in.
Well, do you remember when Jeff Jarrett was doing Global Force Wrestling and he was involved in that?
No, I don't remember. I didn't really follow Global Force.
I was trying to address Matthew here. Natalia is she likes you.
Yes.
I don't think it's fair to say that she loves her fans in that way.
You mean to tell me she doesn't romantically love every single person that likes her post?
No, it's
that's not quite how it works.
No, if that I would be, I'd be happy right now. That was the case.
What I was getting at was
one more question for you.
Yeah.
Who was like your first favorite UFC fighter?
Chuckledale.
Chocolate. Mine was Matt Hughes. So
Okay. I can see that. Yeah.
GSP.
GSP. Yeah. As a
hated
Canadian,
GSP
I can see
he
that.
always beat Hughes, but I can respect GSP. So
Yeah.
GSP was good.
Yeah. Remember when he
I always just hate him because he's French Canadian. So
You bastard.
he beat Matt Hughes twice?
Twice.
Yeah, Hughes beat him once, and then the second and third time they fought, George St. Pierre won.
Yeah.
I just remember when they were hyping up the fight for him to fight Hughes in a rematch, and he comes in the cage and goes, "I am not impressed with your performance."
Yeah, I remember that.
It was like a classic viral moment.
Yep.
I've read Matt Hughes'
ask
book.
EVP something here.
Mhm.
Because me and you are both Brett guys, right? Mr. Isaacs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, are you not liking Bret Hart because he's Canadian?
No. Well, yeah, because
Ah,
the real reason, is because obviously when I was 14, talked a lot of trash on America, and I'm like, F you, dude.
I tell you, those America promos were so good.
Yeah,
Those are the
definitely.
highlight of Brett's promo stuff. Like he was so good. Whining
Oh yeah,
about
this is when he
And
was
it's
showing the
also
most
because
charisma.
you guys are Brett guys. I was an HBK guy. I've always have been. So
See, when he won the Iron Man match, I was like, "Fuck! Why are they shifting away from Brett here? Why are they putting it on this guy, Shawn Michaels? Come on!"
I got a hot take for you guys. Ready?
Oh boy,
That Iron Man match sucked.
uh,
It was boring. The whole concept of an Iron Man match is to get a lot of pins, a lot of decisions, not to go for an hour with 0 and then 2
I
minutes
don't
later.
know about that take.
I thought it was a great match, but I will say that it hasn't aged well because at the time they made it like it was the greatest wrestling match ever. I don't think it's anywhere close. It's not even the best Bret Hart match at WrestleMania. That's with Stone Cold.
It's not the best Shawn Michaels match at WrestleMania.
No, that's not. His best match was with Taker.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree with that. But I do think it was a great match. I think it was a solid 4-star match.
I also think the ending, having the schmoz ending there.
Okay. I disagree. Let me rewrite. I think that match would have been better if it wasn't an Iron Man match.
Oh, for sure.
If they had just said it's a 60-minute
time
60-minute match and they just went out for an hour and did Broadway and had a great match, then yes. But when you say it's an Iron Man match, that implies there's supposed to be multiple decisions, not 60 minutes.
I'm okay with them not having multiple because it means they're just so good. They either could pin the other. I don't mind that.
It's fine, yeah.
It's a stalemate. It adds to the tension of what's going to happen.
You have the possibility of multiple pins, but
Ortega has got Rodriguez on the ground, and Rodriguez is all bloodied up. This is not good for him at all.
Okay, so I'm thinking we should try and end this at 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think we can wrap it up.
We're at an hour 52 here. We're all right.
We're done. I mean, we just got to do our bells and whistles. So
yeah, that's all we got to do. Just one thing before we get to that, and I'll just throw this out there. I am thinking about enrolling in a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class, and I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
Of course,
but I'm thinking that because
when you first start,
we've got a school here in my hometown that teaches Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, judo, and wrestling. So I'm thinking about
is it Gracie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or
yes.
Like that's the only one really worth doing anymore.
It's a Carlson Gracie Jr. affiliated school. Yeah, so it's legit. So I'm thinking about trying.
Would you ever consider becoming a pro wrestler? Do it on the weekends?
No.
Not too old for this.
I'm too old for pro wrestling. Yeah, I mean, I would be a manager or I would be an announcer or something like that. Yeah. I think I could pull that off.
I'll be the timekeeper. Ding ding.
See, I'm not good with time and numbers, so I'd be out for that.
If we were ever able to fundraise, we talked about this in the summer last year.
Yeah.
We could be buying matches and do our own announcing if we could fundraise to do
That would be
this.
a lot of fun. I would enjoy that. You know, we could kayfabe record commentary over this match, like
Yeah,
we're there. You
that
know,
would be so freaking cool.
that would be
man.
fun as hell. I would love that. I would 100% do that. That
Yeah,
would be
so
a lot of fun.
that's like, but the money has to be there.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I don't have the money to pony up to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're,
If you
it could
guys
be like
follow
What
any
Culture
money,
and do
we'll do this.
what we actually we had a bunch of people that were willing to pony up $100.
Yeah.
you're gonna need a lot of people to pony up $100.
Well, we only need that many because we do have a little bit of a fund. So
Now we could do the ICP Stranglemania thing. Do you remember when they did that? Either one of you guys remember that? So ICP, this is before they started their own company, Juggalo Championship Wrestling. That's what they call their wrestling, but which still runs to this day, I believe, up in Michigan. But they put out a tape or a DVD at the time. It was called Stranglemania, and it was ICP doing commentary over like old FMW Japanese hardcore wrestling. And you can find this on YouTube. Just look up Stranglemania. It's them literally doing commentary of like barbed wire explosion matches in Japan.
now, if these are copyright free, we could try to.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It was in Japan only. It had no commercial release here in the U.S. So I mean, I guess they were able to get away with this somehow.
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, so check that out if you haven't. It's worth it because their commentary is hilarious. so give it a shot and see what you think about it.
I just feel like we'd be like, oh, could you stop? Like we there are those little things out there.
All right, gentlemen, let's come full circle here. Let's go ahead and do the closing festivities of what we do here at the Garage After Dark. Let's give our bell rating, match of the night.
Do we want to do retro video game that we played as a kid? You want to add that in just for fun?
Didn't we already do that the other day? I remember I already said my game.
I love this game.
Okay, sure. I'll even choose a different game. How about that?
Yeah, we got to pick a different game.
We'll keep it running. I will start with let's start with EVP Joe.
Okay, so my match of the night is Hobbs and Sammy Guevara. I really enjoyed the match. My promo of the night, I'm giving it to John Moxley and Claudio. Just I enjoyed the intensity in the promo, and basically just sold me on their match for the pay-per-view. And I'm giving this like 3.5 stars. Like I thought it was a solid episode. Nothing to complain about, but nothing like that says, oh, this has 4.5 star match show. So
you didn't get to pick your video game last time. So what was a game you enjoyed as a kid?
I think like the first video game that I really remember playing is Zelda for the Nintendo. Like the gold cartridge Nintendo at that.
Yeah,
like
that's what sounds good.
Yeah, the old gold cartridge. I remember that. Can't F and dry.
My match of the night, I'm also going with Sammy Guevara and Powerhouse Hobbs. This had some good intensity. Could have been on the pay-per-view. So good. My promo of the night, I'm going to Serena Deeb because it was so good. And it was honest. You just feel this honesty about it. And I'm giving it a 3.85. And for my video game, I'm going to select from the Sega Master System, Wonder Boy in Monsterland.
Ooh.
This game was fun. It's kind of mixing of a platform versus RPG. So
very interesting choice, Canada Drive. Very interesting. All right, so for me, my match of the night, I'm going Danielson Akiyama. I just love it. I thought it was a nice technical clinic. I thought Akiyama looked great. I looked it up. He's 52 years old, but he performed really, really well in this match. So that's my match of the night. Promo of the night, I'm going to agree with EVP Joe here. I really like, John Moxley's little promo here. about FTR and about Claudio and all that. I thought that was really good. That stood out to me. And last time I said my favorite video game as a child was Resident Evil. So I'm going to throw a different one out this time. And I am going to throw out Mortal Kombat 2.
Nice.
Because I love the Mortal Kombat series, and Mortal Kombat 2 is my absolute favorite.
And where did you play this on?
I had it on Super Nintendo.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So the first one, which I had a Genesis and a Super Nintendo. I owned them both. The first game didn't have blood on the Super Nintendo, but it did on the Genesis. But in 2, they had blood on the Nintendo one too. So
yeah, we're missing out on this blood. Come on, Nintendo.
yeah. So it's like everybody wanted to play the Sega Genesis version of the first game because Nintendo edited out the blood like a bunch of squares. All right.
Yeah, they were marketing more to kids.
Yeah.
Sega was marketing to a older audience.
Teens
and finally, they're just like, the hell with it. Go ahead and show him ripping his guts out.
I don't care.
And yeah, I love that game. I played that game with my cousin and my uncle like all the time. I thought it was fantastic.
I could never master any of the special moves.
Yeah, it had. I could only do.
I'm like doing the keep doing those underkicks and shit.
I could do like Scorpions. Scorpions was pretty easy. The one where he would like take off his mask and like breathe fire on him with a skull head. That one was pretty
down towards X. Come over here.
And then of course you had the pit fatality too, where you uppercut him and then they go into
I'm talking about just throwing fireballs. There's no way I'm being able to do the fatalities. Like
right.
I couldn't do them as a kid, but when I went back to play later in life, I was like, pause, Google, how do I do this?
Yeah. I had the little guidebook, like the actual physical book that like had them all listed in it. And, I would reference that and then I would go try out the finishers. And
have you guys played some of the younger kids playing this shit?
Have we done what?
Have you played some of the younger guys playing this shit? They're freaking good. Like they're just like they're on another level.
Yeah, I mean, I've played some of these games with my son before. Yeah. I mean, I beat him.
But, yeah, how old's your son?
Well, my son's 14. He just turned 14 like a couple weeks ago.
So he's not quite there in the video game genius.
No, I mean, eventually he'll kick my ass. But right now I'm pretty solid as the champion. Anytime that we face each other.
I remember playing Halo with my nephew. And I thought it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just getting wasted. I'm just like dying every second. I'm just like,
hey, Mr. Essex, what was your rating for the show?
I hadn't got that far yet. We got sidetracked, but my rating for the show, I'm gonna give it a 3.25. I thought about giving it a 3, but it had a couple really enjoyable matches on it. My problem with what Collision's doing right now is it just doesn't seem to have much direction. It kind of has like a WCW Saturday Night feel. It's like matches for the sake of matches. Like it doesn't seem like it's working towards any of the major angles. And it seems like it could be skipped. You could skip it and just watch Dynamite and get all the relevant information about what's going on. So it's kind of slipping in relevance to me, but it does have good wrestling matches. So it's interesting. But I'll give it 3.25 because I really like the Danielson match. Deeb looked amazing, and I really like that opener.
So our average is 3.53.
All right. 3.53. Yep. At this point, I turn it over to Canada Dry, and you can do what you need to do to close this out. Fine, sir.
I think I know what to do. Everyone put their fists in the air. Sometimes in life, we all face challenges. We all get knocked down. It's not easy to get back up. Sometimes you got to ask for help from your friends. You gotta pray to your higher power. You got to do what you got to do to get to where you need to be. So pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and remember to just keep fighting. Now, where the hell's this outro? There we go. There we go. There we go.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.
Book it.
Oh!